What is up, future millionaires? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about, what they haven't taught us in school and what they don't teach us in school and what they probably won't teach our kids in school, right? As it relates to business, finances, and just ways to live a good life, right? They teach us how to show up for school, go to college, get a job, right? Do our homework. But they don't teach us fundamental necessities to building wealth, starting businesses, and understanding how the financial elements of this country work. So if you still don't know these things, then it's a good thing you're in this video. Grab a notebook, grab a pen, and let's get into these gems.
Ellie talks money to create the better days. Business, money, life, the Ellie way.
All right, y'all, so welcome back into the video. We are talking all the things they don't teach us in school, but that you need to know right now. Number one thing is not to keep your money in the bank. That's right. Don't do it. I learned this late. You're probably learning this late, but that's exactly why you're in this video. Putting your money in the bank is literally like your money losing value, especially in times like this where there is inflation on the rise. What you have to realize is that banks will often give you 0.01% interest, maybe 1 to 2% interest on your money, and that is it. Even the banks don't keep their own money in the banks, right? And the reason for that is when your money is in the bank is leveraging that money to go invest in the stock market. The bank is also leveraging that money to buy insurance policies because insurance policies grow in interest and as well can provide them money tax-free and loans tax-free. So that should let you know your savings account is not the best place to keep your money. What you need to do instead is save money in a high yield savings account. These will give you much higher rates. And as well, invest your money into the stock market. Think about it. Banks are going to give you 0.01% or 0.02% on your money. I remember looking at my account, and on a monthly basis, I'm earning a couple of pennies from my savings balance. Pennies. 2 cents. Talking about 2 cents was deposited in your account. What am I going to do with 2 cents a month? That's 24 cents. That's not even a quarter. That's not even a full quarter per year. You've got to recognize that this is not going to be the way that you build wealth for your family. Whereas investing your money in the stock market is going to give you 6 to 8% increase on your money, sometimes even 10 or 12%, depending on how it's looking that year. So do not keep your money in the bank. Instead, open a high yield savings account, and you can search HYSA on Google and it'll show you some various accounts. Also, you can open up a general brokerage account with Fidelity, with Vanguard, and put your money into an index fund. Those are pretty safe. Those are going to essentially, an index fund is a fund that has about 50 to 4,000 of the top most successful companies in one place. And so you're investing in all of those at the same time, okay? That's a really stable way to grow your money. Index funds typically show a return of, like I said, 6 to 8% every single year. So thing you didn't learn, number one, don't put your money in the bank. All right, so tip number two, or thing you didn't learn, number two, is about compound interest. And interestingly enough, Albert Einstein said that compound interest was one of the wonders of the world because it is literally the act of your money growing on top of itself. So I want you guys to do a quick activity. This is your homework. And I'm going to ask you, would you rather have $1 million right now or a penny doubled every single day? Now, I know y'all gonna go to Google and look up the answer, but a penny doubled every single day is going to give you, I gotta double check, but it's like multiple millions of dollars because of the fact of compound interest. And this is how you know what compound interest is. This is why you can put $100 into a custodial Roth IRA account, for example, or a Roth IRA account, and in 10, 15, 20 years, it will have grown to millions of dollars, right? That's because of compound interest. Now imagine if we all learned this at age 5, or if our parents knew this when we were 5 years old, then our parents would have been putting $25, $100, $200 into investment accounts for us every month. So by the time we turned 18, we wouldn't have had to eat cup of noodles in college. We could have been going to the buffet. We could have been, you know what I'm saying? We could be starting businesses, buying property at 18, 19 years old. But they don't teach us this in school, right? And you would only learn these things if you came from a family that had financial literacy or that was already financially wealthy. And for a lot of, African Americans or people of color like myself, that's just not the case. So much of wealth building is knowledge. And if you don't have that knowledge, you can't build wealth. So compound interest is the plug. All right, y'all. So the third thing you don't learn in school, and this is one of my favorites, is you do not learn about business credit. You also don't learn about personal credit, but you specifically do not learn about any of the ways in which you can start and scale a business successfully and the proper ways to borrow money. We're pretty much always told that borrowing money is scary, don't go into debt, but in fact, business credit and personal credit can really be used as leverage to help you build wealth really quickly and scale a business. So you guys know I educate you on business credit all the time. Imagine if we would have learned at 15, 16, 17 before graduating at 18, where we can actually use our credit, if we knew how to properly use credit, how to build business credit, how to form an LLC, we would be in completely different positions, right? It's very important to go to college. I support college. I went to college, but it's also important to know what your other options are. So much of the time we are shown that college is the only route, when in fact, we could start an LLC at 18 and be completely on our way. But we're often not shown that because, I think they want to keep systems working the way that they're working. So you need to make sure you are educating yourself on building business credit. I have tons of classes and links to that. I'll make sure to drop them down below. Now, the fourth thing that we are not taught in school is the 10-20 rule. Now, let me explain. So the 10-20 rule means that 10 times your monthly expenses is what you should have in savings. And the 20 there is that 20 times your salary is what you need to retire. So when we're looking at that, then we can be financially prepared to ensure that we have the money we need saved up in case an emergency happens, and that we can start projecting the money we're going to need in order to comfortably retire. And these are things we can start planning from a young age. Even when you have your first job, the sad thing is most Americans have less than $1,000 saved up for an emergency fund. And nowadays, $1,000 is like 3 weeks of gas because these prices are ghetto. So we want to make sure we have all the money that we need, that if something were to happen, we could sustain for a really long time. All right, y'all. So the fifth thing we don't learn in school, and this really just boils my blood, is the fact that they don't teach us about taxes. They don't teach us what a tax is, what a tax return is, what the IRS is, how to get a tax write-off. Nothing. They don't teach us these things. We end up finding out when we first get our job at 18 and half of our check is gone. And we're like, well, wait a minute. Why haven't I learned the ways to get around this? They should be educating us that one of the ways to reduce your tax liability is to form a business, is to be an independent contractor. Did y'all know that when you join a job, you can choose to be paid as an employee or choose to be paid as a contractor? I learned this recently from a CPA friend of mine, and when you actually elect to be paid as a contractor, now you're able to write off your gas to get to work. You're able to write off your phone bill that they call you on for work. You're able to write off any travel you would have to do for work because you are an independent contractor and not an employee, which is going to allow you to keep so much more of your income because now you are in control of your write-offs and your taxes are not taken out when you get paid, but at the end of the year when you file your return, right? This is freeing information. This lets us be the controller of our finances rather than just the victim. So these are some 5 things I wanted to share with you all. Comment below any questions you have on these, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.